You know those Skarsgård brothers, I gotta tell you, they were known for a few things. You know, the oldest one was known for that lovely performance he gave on True Blood, the sexy fanged beast that he was. And the eldest was known for the creepy rendition he gave as a vampire-like thing in Hemlock Grove, which was a really great Netflix show. Kind of ended here recently, but now I think he's really topped his own charts here, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta say, this movie scared the ever-living daylights out of me. Oh man, they do all float.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I do apologize for the hiatus that I've been taking. Been trying to get some personal life issues straightened out, but I'm back and I'm here to review Stephen King's 2017 rendition of It, starring Bill Skarsgård as, you guessed it, the killer clown in the sewer. Now, let's break this down like we usually do, because I am really excited about this. I saw the Tim Curry version, I'm gonna say probably about a month ago when I heard about the remake coming out. I know. I hadn't seen it from the beginning. I hadn't seen it, when it was out before the remakes news even came to the head, okay? Should have seen it. I didn't. Never was really that interested in it, but then I got to looking up the whole clown thing, the sharp-toothed, long-fingered Tim Curry amazingness that it was, and I researched a little bit, and I was like, I really, really want to see what this guy's all about. And I watched the Tim Curry version, and it mildly impressed me. And I'm like, well, if this is going to be similar to what's going to come out in September, I don't think there's going to be any problems. And I was looking at the makeup scheme and the costumes and everything, and I think they did a fantastic job with Bill Skarsgård version, the 2017 version. And he was a little goofily creepy. That's what I'm going to call it, goofily creepy. You can coin that. That's from me. And it was energetic, but also very, very scary. And I didn't know how it was going to come off because, remakes these days, they don't do well. So I walked in to the theater not expecting anything, because with remakes, you really have to clear your head. You can't go into it expecting anything. And I was completely blown out of my seat. There were a few times in this movie where I was just like, oh, what the heck? They can do that on a movie? That's allowed to be put into a theater. Awesome. Good to know. So the things that I loved in this movie were the special effects. The special effects really amped up the horror, in my opinion. The Tim Curry version really relied on a lot of movie magic, practical effects, prosthetics, things of this nature, which is fine. I've often said in many of my reviews that movie magic and prosthetics are kind of going the way of the dodo, because all these computer generated and everything, it's coming to the forefront, and it's kind of backing off of prosthetics and things of this nature. A good example of this would be the original Lord of the Rings trilogy versus the Hobbit trilogy. The Hobbit trilogy had a lot of CGI special effects at a high frame rate, but the Weta Workshop did amazing things for the props and the swords and everything, and the masks for the orcs in the Lord of the Rings original trilogy. So it really contrasted, and you could see the difference. And personally, I prefer the other three, but the special effects in this one, if done right, is just a work of art. It's a work of wonder, and it really amps up what you're trying to do, whether or not it's bring about the magic of a scene or really scare the crap out of you, and this thing did it. The special effects and in combination with the makeup and everything with the new Clown was mind-boggling. Okay, if they had had that in Tim Curry's era, that this movie would have been 6 times scarier back then. And in my opinion, it couldn't have gotten scarier for me, honestly. So the things that I loved in here were the special effects on the clowns and all of the stuff that he turns into, because if you haven't already known, he's a shapeshifter, but the clown is one of his main forms that he uses to instill fear into his victims. And just the storyline was perfected from page to book. Storyline was perfected. I have not read Stephen King's It yet. I've heard it's one of his longer novels. I can't really get into King's writing, but I am going to attempt it because I really want to know what the book was versus the 2 movies. And actually, the Tim Curry version wasn't a movie. It was a made-for-TV miniseries that came on, and they just adapted it into a movie when they released it on VHS back then. Oh, God, I'm aging myself now. The things that I liked in this movie were, again, some of the things that I loved. The horror factor in it, the new cast. I gotta say, the Losers Club is a cast of brand new kids, never before seen really in any kind of big roles, but this was their breakout role, and they did wonders. They were absolutely fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better cast for the Losers Club. Couldn't have really asked for a better movie, honestly. There wasn't anything in this movie that I hated. It was fantastic, and apparently, and I don't know if it was just the poor box office numbers from Labor Day, but and this being, the only real good movie that was out to see that weekend, but it blew the expectations of it away. They were clocking it in at around 60 mil, just under 400 some odd mil in the first opening weekend. That is absolutely stunning, especially for 1, a rated R film, 2, a horror film. That's almost never been done before with a horror film. And it was amazing. I can't stop singing its praises. I want to go back and see it again because I know I missed something. I jumped in my seat. You guys will too. If you guys have the opportunity as far as experience, go see it in large format. I didn't. I want to. I think I might. I saw it in regular format, but even in regular format, that was scary as yeah. Ugh. I mean, it had the disturbing element, it had the adventure element with the Losers Club, it had the suspense, the mystery. It did everything it was supposed to do, transferred well from book to page, transferred well from the original to the remake. It was, and I dare say for just at risk of being hit over the head with something very heavy in the next coming weeks when this thing is released, I think it was actually better than the Tim Curry version. But Tim Curry is always going to be the original It, to me, anyway. But Skarsgård, you did fantastic. Wow, just all around, full moon across the scale, full moon. Go see it in theaters, spend the money, go see it on weekend, go see it on weekday.
And sit down.
Support your theater, go see this movie in the theaters and own it on Blu-ray, because every Halloween you're going to want to pull this movie out to scare the living bejesus out of people, and just go see it. It was wow. And that about wraps it up for this review, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, click the like button right down below, and if you want to keep up with all the latest news and videos here on Midnight's Premiere, click the subscribe button for more. My name is Mr. Midnight, and again, this has been Midnight's Premiere. Thank you so much for watching, guys.